Starting at Sentinel Day Use, there's Cataract Creek, Lookout Ridge, the north end of it, just to the east of where Cataract dumps into the Highwood. Heading straight up to the top, continuing on to the high peak in the back, going quite a ways south. Long Ridge. Typical terrain for this part of the Highwood. Across the river, across the meadow. Quite steep going through the first initial trees and it levels off. Hasn't been bad bushwhacking, but the only trail that I've come across was a faint one up the north spine once it starts leveling out. So you gotta go quite a ways without trail, but then it picks up. And there's Mount Man. Junction Hill. 4 kilometers in, 450 meters up. And the ridge keeps going. The high point, dropping the cone. I think that little one in the middle. It's a little side hill I'm tagging. And dropping down. Going up. South Limestone. And then coming out the backside there into Painted Creek. And then back down Zephyr to the parking lot. And a Lookout Ridge, drop off, go up there, and come down, and Zephyr Bear Pass. Made it to there a few winters ago. The trail along that edge. Once we get to the pass, we're gonna be going up South Limestone, dropping in on the other side. Seven kilometers from the parking lot, 690 meters. Starting to get more rocky. Zephyr Bear Pass. Looking down to Cataract Creek and Hell's Ridge across the way. Little peaks. Can't see the summit yet. It's gonna go up and down for a bit. Actually, now you can see the top. Headwaters of Zephyr Creek. Found a good game trail. Bypassed the first peak. Not a lot of climbing, but so I'll just stay on the trail when I find it. And it just sort of petered out. This section has a few false summits. Trail through here. slide action here. This face peeling away. Oh, I think this is the crux of the trip. Go down a bit. I'm pretty sure that ramp is down that way. This is the ramp. So when you're heading north, it descends right. Pretty steep, and this stuff does slide, so you just gotta step slow. Slowly but surely, they do slide. And then when you get to this middle, cliffs on that side, still go right. Pretty much down at the bottom, and the steepness and looseness of that would definitely turn some people around. Just pulls are definitely helpful on that extra stability. And when you're stepping down, just kick to make sure that the rocks aren't going to slide beneath you. But just take your time and it'll go fine. So if you're heading north from the call, you'll see the solid rock wall, and you just gotta walk to all the scree and the shattered rock. Follow the shattered rock wall up, and you'll make it to the top. Back up at the crux, and north if you were there to scree. Follow this broken down. This part's easy. This is the end for me on Lookout Ridge. Still keeps going and connects into Burke, so northward is 2.5 kilometers, so that way. The ridge looks like it goes pretty easy. Very good ways so far in the trip today. And that's looking down into Cataract Campground Meadows. And descending eastward, gonna go tag that little green peak. And I see a very good game trail right at the beginning of the trees in the middle of the dip. And so we are going out. And on the left side of this knob, South Limestone. Almost at the unmarked call. Easy descent. There's the east faces Bark. So I'm gonna run up, take the top of that little hill, come back down. And this red patch of earth, that good game trail goes goes right through it. Hopefully it's the trail that I want and not just a random cow trail that takes me somewhere else, but it should shoot us down into there on the left side. Fingers crossed. Stumbled across this little camp in the trees. I lost the trail through the meadow and I just ended up in here. Nice flat spot for a tent. Water's down in the creek there. Bit of a walk. And there's a big open grassy hill there for more views. That's the pass that we came from, and I was just on top of that little guy. And Lookout Ridge is where I topped out up there. Now to find the continuation of this trail, lost it in this meadow. So camp is right there. I found the continuation of the trail. Come back out to the meadow. A few steps to Looker's right. And it starts back up in the trees again. I followed a little faint trail out, right out the back of camp, but just led to open forest and no trail. Then I popped out, hit this guy, and circled back to find it in the meadow. So since the grassy call way back there, this trail has been very defined. You can't lose it except when you get to the meadow where the camp is. It's the only place that the grass has grown over, but it's very defined everywhere else. So straight ahead is South Limestone. Gonna drop down Zephyr Bear Pass. Been there a few winters ago. Oh, popped out onto the Zephyr Creek Trail. No issues, all the way down links up. There's Sentinel Rock right there. So it was about 100 meters up trail from where Sentinel Rock is. Can't really see the trail from this trail. It scoots off into the bushes. But there's a little camp right around tree line, so look for a tiny camp. So we're gonna go up South Limestone now. It's looking southeast from Zephyr Bear Pass, and that small camp is right there, and the trail is just around there. See it as soon as you get in there. Started the ascent up South Limestone. There's the east face of Lookout Ridge. That's where the crux was. Dropped down, went up, came down to the call, went up there, and took the trail down to Zephyr Bear, somewhere around there. So coming up South Limestone, it was just steep grass right from the beginning. Now it's transitioned to typical Exshaw looking terrain. So better on this than coming up that steep grass. Looking back at the farthest south portion of the day's objectives. This is from around the high point of South Limestone. And the divide peaks are finally out. They were in cloud cover all morning. Went from rocks to grass the higher up you went. There's a cairn at the top. South Limestone. This is looking north, and that's the next peak up. Not the summit, definitely lower. From the call here, we're going to dip east through the trees and try and find a trail that takes us back to Painted Creek. I made it halfway up that trail in the winter, so I know where far half of it is. I lost it in snow, so everything between then and where I know is going to be a mystery. Well, I basically summited South Limestone, went to the call, traversed down, and then I decided to keep going because I thought there might be a trail low down. So animals, possibly horses, also animals, don't need to summit and go on all that rocky terrain up there. Animals. So hopefully this game trail takes us out to the call. It's going in the right direction. And we'll see where we're at from there. This is a lot better than that side hilling coming down. So made the right move to abandon that traverse and just drop down low. See if this was here, which it was. And it's in great shape. Well, the trail was good. Got a bit sparse through the trees towards the end. And then when I got to this rocky section, kind of quite hard to find it. There is some blazes, some limbed trees. Looks like we're at an intersection. And I think this is where we drop down, actually. So I'm gonna mark this as a junction. And I bet the trail keeps on indistinctly going either that way or that way. It must, because there's a cairn here. I don't know. I think this is where we descend. Well, there's the south end of North Limestone. Painted Creek, and pictographs are down in there. So we gotta get on this good trail through that valley down there. The book junction calling up 747802 is correct. This was the junction to the start of this good trail. I'm pretty sure that this was built for horses. I've seen some trail work done on it. lower down, once we hit the trees, all soft loam. Got blazes on the trees, very little deadfall. Nothing's been holed up. This has been a very good trail. Nothing's even been cut. It's just nothing's falling over the trail here. So the book tells you to go in that direction when you get to this chopped tree, and just beyond it there's this big growth, and the trail is obvious here. So this is at 743816 grid reference. Yeah, I mapped out where Dufferin has it going versus the NRCan maps, and way up there, did it in the winter time, there's nothing, bad bushwhacking. But the actual trail cuts this way, and you'll find it pretty much most of the way. It's quite clear. So at this point, this trail just drops down to the cut line, and you can see the Painted Creek rocks through the trees there. So I'll be down there in about 15 minutes. Go see the pictographs. So at this point, I've been everywhere on this trail, so I know it's getting me back to Zephyr Creek. So that's looking west. Pictographs are down there on this trail. When you get to Painted Creek, there's a trail going up. That's not it. Across Painted Creek, continue on the cut line, and you'll see where the horse trail cuts off to the right. It'll take about 5 minutes of climbing until you hit the junction. You'll see it. Painted Creek Trail, always in good condition. Never seen it bad. Just climbed up the bank out of Painted Creek a bit. Never stopped to look at the west ridge of North Limestone. But it's got a lot of this all the way down, I know. Interspersed with grassy slopes. Tiny little Zephyr Creek. Blasting out on the good trail now. And from here, that's how you go up to Zephyr Bear Pass. Obvious junction. North Limestone, West Slopes. Back where we started, looking at Bull Creek. There's Gunnery, Holy Cross, Man, and one of the sections for the north end of Lookout Ridge started going up there. We are at, for the day, 21 kilometers and 1,400 meters exactly. It would have been 4 ticks, but Lookout Ridge, until it got stony, was super repetitive, monotonous. Wasn't bad bushwhacking at all, but definitely wasn't fun. So instead of 4, we're bumping this one up to 5. But the horse trail down was super good. I'm glad found that easy.